Kalanick is out entirely, at least as CEO of Uber, reportedly under pressure from some of the startup's largest shareholders. Of course, this comes just a week after he announced an indefinite leave of absence and a week after that Holder report with its many, many recommendations. Uber's board in a statement says, quote, "This is a bold decision and a sign of his devotion and love for Uber. By stepping away, he is giving the company room to fully embrace this new chapter." Guys, of course, this comes after months of crises that led not just to Kalanick's departure ultimately, but the departure of many high-level executives, including Emil Michael right there. That's a list of just some of them. The New York Times reporting that over the last day, 5 of Uber's major investors demanded that Kalanick resign immediately, including board member Bill Gurley of VC firm Benchmark. He was also one of Kalanick's earliest supporters. Question now is, of course, who will lead Uber 2.0? When Kalanick went on a leave of absence last week, he left a management committee in his place of more than 10 people to lead daily operations. But the company has been searching, as you guys know, for a COO, a CFO, a CMO, a general counsel, and now a heightened search for a CEO to replace Kalanick himself, guys. But don't expect that he's going to walk away from the company entirely, because he still is on the board, of course, and he still controls a majority of Uber's voting shares.
And presumably, Deirdre, the search for all the other C-level sort of posts that you had mentioned will be held up until a CEO is named. I mean, I would imagine you wouldn't want to take a COO position not knowing who you would report to.
Absolutely. I mean, the most important search so far has centered around that COO position, and he was supposed to balance some of the control that Travis Kalanick had. So in addition to finding that person, maybe the search just goes to the CEO, since those were some of the responsibility presumed that that person would have to take on. But, you know, they're facing exits at many of those high positions. So they have a lot to fill. And, you know, it begs the question, too, who is going to lead strategy? If you have more than 10 people leading the company right now, who makes those big decisions?
Deirdre, because this entire revolt was led by the VC funders, by the guys who are funding so many other places in Silicon Valley, does this mean that you should expect to see a change in culture that seeps through the valley?
You know, we asked this question, we've been asking this question over the last months, really, since these crises have been rolling out. And what we hear is, yes, while this may not change the way that VCs invest in startups, it's certainly going to change their disclosures that they look at. They're going to look for more corporate governance and internal controls, because it's amazing that a company the size of Uber with 14,000 people didn't have a lot of these controls in place. That's what the Holder report and the internal report found out. So I think it does increase scrutiny, but what I'm hearing is that it may not affect the way that money is raised in terms of the amount, but certainly what investors are looking at. It's too big of a liability to not have these controls in place.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.